Last night, you lived through 4 or 5 entire dreams, whole worlds, people who don't exist, places you've never been. Some of it was strange. Some of it felt completely real. And by the time you finished breakfast, almost all of it was gone. Maybe you were falling. Maybe you were back in a house you lived in years ago, except it wasn't quite that house. Maybe someone who was gone was alive again, talking to you like nothing had ever happened. For a few minutes, it was the only thing that existed. And now you couldn't describe it if your life depended on it. You don't think this is strange because it happens every single night. But stop and look at it for a second. You experienced hours of vivid, emotional, fully formed reality, and your brain threw nearly all of it away before you were even fully awake. Most people assume the answer is obvious. Dreams aren't real, so your brain doesn't bother saving them. They're just random noise. Junk! But that's not quite right, and the real reason is far stranger than you'd expect. Because you're not failing to remember your dreams, your brain is actively, deliberately erasing them. And that erasing might be one of the most important things it does all night. To understand why, you have to understand what is actually happening in your head while you sleep. You dream every single night, whether you remember it or not. Across a normal night, you cycle through dreams 4, 5, 6 times, mostly during a stage called REM sleep. Add it up, and you spend around 2 hours every night dreaming. Over a lifetime, that's roughly 6 years. 6 years of experience, and you can barely recall last Tuesdays. Here's the first piece of the puzzle. To turn any experience into a lasting memory, your brain needs a specific chemical. It's called noradrenaline. When something happens while you're awake, noradrenaline floods your brain and basically stamps the moment down, telling your memory system this matters. Write it down. It comes from a tiny cluster of cells deep in your brainstem called the locus ceruleus. Think of it as the switch that turns memory recording on all day long. It fires and your life gets written down. Now here's the strange part. During REM sleep, the exact stage when your most vivid dreams happen, that switch goes almost completely silent. Your brain shuts the noradrenaline off. The sleep scientist Matthew Walker, who wrote the book Why We Sleep, points out that REM is the only time in the entire 24-hour cycle when your brain is essentially free of this chemical. The pen your brain uses to write memories down has been taken away. So while you're having the most intense experience of your night, the part of you that records experiences has been switched off. You are living the dream, but nobody inside your head. And yet you feel every second of it. Because while the memory system goes dark, your emotional core stays wide awake. The amygdala, the part of your brain that runs fear and feeling, is intensely active. That's why dreams are never boring. They're terrifying or thrilling or impossibly sad. You are running pure emotion through a brain that has quietly switched off its ability to remember any of it. Maximum feeling, zero recording, the perfect recipe for an experience that overwhelms you and then vanishes without a trace. It goes deeper than that. Your hippocampus, the little structure that acts like the brain's recording device, doesn't behave normally in REM either. Instead of recording new input, it seems to switch into a kind of playback mode, feeding old information outward rather than capturing the new dream coming in. So the recorder is in playback and the ink is gone. A dream forms, plays out in full color, and then simply has nothing holding it in place. It fades the instant it ends. This is why there's a strange 90-second rule that dream researchers know well. If you wake up during a dream, or in the very first moment right after it, you have a tiny window to catch it. Grab it in those first seconds, and you might keep it. But roll over, drift back down, or wait even a minute, and it's gone forever. You've felt this, that maddening moment where you wake up absolutely certain you just had an incredible dream. You can still feel the shape of it, the emotion of it, and you reach for the details, and there's simply nothing there. It wasn't forgotten. It was never really saved. It was only, right? Like a word balanced on the tip of your tongue, already slipping. This is also why the few people who do remember their dreams aren't special. They've just learned the trick without knowing it. People who keep a dream journal or who simply wake more often in the night catch more dreams in that tiny window. The dreams were always there. They just usually evaporate before anyone reaches for them. But all of this explains how your brain forgets dreams. It doesn't explain why it would be built to forget something so completely. And that's where it gets genuinely unsettling. Back in 1983, two scientists, Francis Crick, one of the men who discovered the structure of DNA, and the mathematician Graham Mitchison, proposed a radical idea. They argued that the whole point of dreaming might be to forget. Their theory was called reverse learning. During the day, your brain takes in a flood of information, and a lot of it is useless. Overlaps, accidents, random connections, junk patterns. If all of it stayed, your brain would slowly choke on its own garbage associations. So at night, they argued, the brain replays these tangled connections and actively weakens them. We dream, in their words, in order to forget. The dream isn't the thing being saved. The dream is what it looks like from the inside while your brain takes out the trash. Modern sleep science has built on this. The researchers Giulio Tononi and Chiara Cirelli describe something called synaptic homeostasis. All day, as you learn and experience, the connections between your neurons grow stronger and stronger. But they can't grow forever, or your brain would run out of room and energy. So during sleep, your brain scales these connections back down, weakening the weak ones, keeping the important ones. A nightly cleanup, a pruning. And your dreams may simply be the experience of that pruning happening. The flickering, half-random, impossible images are the byproduct of a brain sorting through your day and quietly deciding what to keep and what to delete. You're watching your own mind clean itself. And here's the paradox at the heart of all this. The very same night your brain is erasing your dreams, it is doing the exact opposite for your real memories. While you sleep, your brain quietly replays the important moments of your actual day and files them away for good. So in a single night inside the same sleeping head, two opposite things happen at once. The things that truly mattered get strengthened and locked in, and the dream you were just living inside gets gently wiped away. Your brain is separating the real from the imagined while you lie there completely unaware that the most important editing of your entire life is happening every single night. So here is the part that changes everything. You are not bad at remembering your dreams. Your brain is extraordinarily good at erasing them. That forgetting is not a flaw in the system. It is the system working exactly as it should. And there may be a far deeper reason it matters so much. Imagine if you remembered every dream as clearly and permanently as you remember real life. Imagine waking up genuinely unsure whether you actually visited a place or only dreamed it, whether a conversation happened or your sleeping mind invented it, whether a memory of someone you love was real or just something stitched together in the dark. Your entire sense of what is real depends on a clean line between the things that happened and the things you only imagined. If your dreams were saved with the same weight as your waking life, that line would blur. Night after night, you would slowly lose the ability to tell your own memories apart from your own inventions. You would drown in a flood of experiences that never actually happened. And this isn't unique to you, and it isn't new. Every human who has ever lived woke up and let their dreams dissolve into nothing. So does almost every animal that dreams. Your dog, twitching and running in its sleep, wakes up remembering none of it either. This forgetting is ancient. It was built into us long before we had language to even describe a dream. Whatever it's doing for us, it has been doing it for millions of years, every single night in the dark. So every morning, without ever noticing, you perform a small and silent act of deletion. You let an entire night of imagined worlds slip away, and in doing so, you protect the fragile border between the world and your own mind. The dreams aren't lost by accident. They are erased on purpose to keep you anchored to what's real. Last night, you woke up inside a world that your own mind had built, and without a second thought, you let it go. You'll do it again and the night after that, and every night for the rest of your life. Not because your memory is failing you, but because forgetting those worlds gently every single morning is quietly one of the most important things your brain will ever do for you.